Michael and Tasha Patterson could lose their children and never see them again because the Florida state government is pretending that their kids' documented medical conditions aren't real and that they're actually being abused, even though every single medical expert who has looked at them has said that there has been no abuse and that these kids are sick and need treatment. Michael and Tasha face the possibility of never seeing their kids again. Now, the good news is that we've already reunited many other families who have gone through this exact same thing. And yes, it's nuts that any family is going through this, but they are, and we've helped reunite a lot of them. You can help us reunite this one too, with about 2 minutes of your time. It'll actually take you longer to watch this video than it will take you to help us get these kids back home to their parents. And at the end of this video, I'll tell you exactly how you can do that, okay? But first, let me explain how this happened. After trying for a very long time to get pregnant, Michael and Tasha Patterson had twins back in 2022. It was a miracle. Unfortunately, we now know that both children have Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome and metabolic bone disease. And soon after they were born, Michael and Tasha knew that something was wrong. Tasha's actually a nurse practitioner, so she could just tell that their fussiness just wasn't normal and that it was actually getting worse. So she would take them to the doctors. Sometimes she'd even take them to the ER, and every time she was told that they just had colic or just had reflux, and she was just being overly concerned and everything was fine. And in fact, in one of her medical records, the doctor wrote down that she was just a concerned mom. But then when one of her twins had a strange bruise and she took them to the ER again, everything changed. After scanning the kids, the medical team tells Michael and Tasha that one of the babies had rib fractures and a small liver laceration, and that the other one had fractures everywhere. And right there, Michael and Tasha were accused of child abuse. Their parental rights were terminated, and the Florida Department of Children and Families took custody of their babies. So Michael and Tasha immediately got in touch with medical experts to figure out what caused these injuries because they knew it wasn't caused by abuse. The experts they contacted diagnosed the twins with both Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, which is a genetic connective tissue disorder, and metabolic bone disease. They said that these conditions were the sole cause of their injuries, not abuse. They even contacted the founding father of child abuse pediatrics, Dr. Eli Newberger. He reviewed their case, and he determined that no abuse had occurred, and that the doctor at the ER who accused Michael and Tasha of abuse actually violated the standards of care for child abuse pediatrics. So at this point, you're probably wondering why we're even having to talk about this, right? Why didn't the family court judge just throw this case out and give Michael and Tasha their kids back? Well, it turns out that the family court judge didn't even allow most of the medical experts' opinions and diagnoses to be entered into evidence. Instead, the judge took the testimony of the doctor who wrongfully diagnosed the Patterson twins with abuse, even though she wasn't even certified in child protection. She doesn't even work for that hospital anymore. That was who the judge wanted to hear from, not the actual medical experts with specific diagnoses and mountains of medical evidence to back it up. So the Florida Department of Children and Families, which is run by Taylor Hatch, is moving forward with taking the Patterson kids for good, and the family court is letting them. Let me say that again. Taylor Hatch should know at this point that these kids are sick and were not abused, and with one simple action, she could end this whole nightmare right now and let these kids go home, but instead, she continues to fight to place them with another family permanently. In fact, DCF even refused to let them get treatment for their conditions while under their care. Now, eventually, they did allow the kids to get the treatments they needed, and their conditions stabilized. So they know there's a condition that's causing this. So again, the people who took the Patterson babies know full well that they're unwell and need care. They know that this is an abuse, but they just won't give them back. Why? Well, we get the answer to that by following the money. See, under Title 4D of the Social Security Act, the federal government gives money to state child protective systems, including the family courts, every time they accuse a parent of abuse. And if they take their children from them permanently, they get even more money. And if those children turn out to have a medical condition, they get even more money. So when a child comes in with injuries caused by a medical condition, the people who run these systems are like cha-ching, jackpot. because they know they're going to get the most money they can from this kid, and all they have to do is tear another innocent family apart. This is horrific. And as I said before, it's happening across the country. It's so horrific that it led to a bill, the Patterson's Law, which already passed in the Florida State Senate. The Patterson's Law seeks to prevent this from ever happening again by allowing parents to get a second medical opinion when they are accused of abuse before they are arrested or their children are taken. We actually already got a similar law passed in Georgia. It's called Ridge's Law. It's named after Ridge Collins, who was taken from his parents when Georgia Child Protective Services refused to acknowledge his medical condition, and we're working to get the Patterson's Law passed in Florida. But in the meantime, Michael and Tasha Patterson are still about to lose their kids. And earlier this week, we found out that the Florida State Supreme Court refused to listen to their case. They didn't weigh on the merits of the case, they simply refused to take jurisdiction and hear it, unless Taylor Hatch backs off of these completely unfounded allegations and lets Michael and Tasha have their kids back. She will be allowed to move forward with permanently giving those children to another family. But we're going to get them back. We've done it many times before. With your help, we're going to do it this time too. It works. Now, here's how you can help in just a couple minutes. First, go to youarethepower.net/Patterson. When you go there, you'll see a tab that says email those involved. You click on that and you'll see the name and title of Taylor Hatch, as well as two other people, Samuel Curse and Dr. Carol Lilly. These three are the specific people we need to back off and let the Pattersons have their kids back. Just click on their names and it will automatically fill out an email for them. It'll even put all the necessary wording about this case in the body of the email. All you have to do is put your name at the bottom. You can also add whatever wording you want to add, or you can remove that wording and write your own. Then just send the email. Be sure to do this for each of the three people. Now, once you've done that, come back here and tag everyone else you think might want to help too. Tag your friends, tag your loved ones, tag your favorite celebrities and influencers, tag your favorite politicians, tag your least favorite politicians, tag everyone. And then once you've done that, please share this video or repost it or stitch it, whatever it's called on whatever platform you're watching this on, do that. And now here's the last thing, and it's possibly the hardest and the most important. When you contact those three people, please don't just lash out at them, okay? I'm as angry as you are. This should have never happened. We shouldn't be having to ask these people not to steal children from innocent parents. But this isn't about how angry we are. It's about reuniting the Patterson family, and it works. We've reunited many other families across the country, and we've also gotten many officials to completely change course. One of them is Candace Brose. She's the head of the Georgia Division of Family and Children's Services, the agency that took Ridge Collins and many other kids from their innocent parents. She was once one of our greatest opponents, but after consistently and respectfully asking her to change course, she has since become one of our greatest allies. Remember Ridge's Law? She helped that to pass unanimously, and she stays in contact with us to make sure that innocent parents won't have to worry about this anymore in Georgia. I want to be clear, what these people are doing to the Pattersons is monstrous. But they aren't monsters, they're just people, and somehow they've convinced themselves that they're doing the right thing, or that this is a necessary evil, or that they have to break some eggs to make omelets or whatever. They've convinced themselves that they're doing the right thing. With your help, we're going to convince them that they're doing the wrong thing and get them to undo it. With your help, this family will be reunited, and this nightmare will be behind them for good. Okay? So again, go to youarethepower.net/Patterson. Press the names and send the emails. Come back here and tag, and then share this. Let's get to work. Love y'all.
For you to snatch my children away and said we did it to them is absolutely the hardest thing we have had to go through as a family, because nobody hurt my children.